Hey, good day. Me plugging away on Mando's rifle here. I've been trying to gather as much reference for this sucker as I can in order to create something here as accurate as I can get it. And that's going to be a little on the difficult side for a while, but let's see what I can do. There's some details here that are rather difficult to narrow down. Just don't see them. They seems to always show this weapon from the same side. Pardon me. Um, I've been Googling a lot of this, trying to find reference for it, but it is really hard to find. There's just no shots of this thing from certain angles. I've been trying to screen cap it from the show, but again, you always see it from the same angle on the show. And so I've been trying to. Hello, boy. Oh, you got it on, do you? Pardon me, my kid is here. Oh, dude, that's really killer. Does it fit okay? You look good, Dust. Apologies. My kid has decided he's going to be a Pokemon for Halloween, and came in dressed as Umbreon. And so he wanted to show me his costume. There you have that. So yeah, I'm going to keep plugging away at this here. Like I said, the reference is really hard to come by, but I'm kind of making my way here. I'm into the main housing of the weapon. Really, this is where most of the detail is. I think everything beyond this is kind of just barrel and scope and just a lot of cylinder work. And so this is where the main body lies here. And I've gotten to a point where I'm pretty happy with it. The one thing that I've been able to accomplish that I haven't seen in any of the other online models is that mine contains the reload mechanism in order for him to put the shells in here. And some of this, I mean, I've been trying to make something that makes sense here. So the way that this thing works is that there's a little switch back here, which would be spring loaded, and when this gets pulled back to the point that the lock can't be held anymore, something like this, that would pop, and then the housing would pop open, and then he puts the shell in there and then slams that closed, which because of the angle on here, we'll shove this guy back and pop it back into place. And so that's turning out rather well. I've at least got something that will be a reasonable facsimile of what the actual gun does. Most of my reference that I've been plugging away from is fan art, which is definitely not the greatest thing to do. I'm desperately trying to avoid making the mistakes that they've made. And a lot of these replicas, a lot of these fan built props, really wrong. The best example of that is the octagon that lives on this piece of metal right here. So you can see they've got a piece of metal, and they got like a darker inset octagon, a brighter octagon, a darker inset octagon, followed by a little gold octagon. And in actuality, that is what this looks like. Where it is this beveled in octagon, and it's actually a hexagon in the middle, with some little brackets holding it down, and it's all kind of rounded and stuff. And so I've been actually able to grab some fairly high-res images of the actual prop in order to get this to a point where it's looking correct. If I go to my reference here and into the rifle, I do have, so this is the This is the fan-made prop, which is the gold octagon there. Which, I mean, in terms of the reproduction rate of this thing, this isn't bad. You know, they've done a pretty good job of mimicking what the shapes of those things are. There's a lot of flaws in this that I don't want to reproduce. And so anyway, that's the fan made prop, and then this is the actual one from the show. This is on the actual costume worn by Pedro Pascal. So I've been using this as my reference, and I'm gonna go in and do this little area here now. So there's the little pin that rocks back and forth, and I want to get the other little mechanism here to work. So the slot where in which this is going to slide forward and backwards, this groove, and then kind of the little hole that's in here. There's also some kind of a seam up here, which I haven't really been able to figure out what that is. It looks like a weld line, which is really bizarre because this is a really small piece to require a weld. And so I don't know what purpose that serves, but it's definitely there. There's definitely a seam that's there, and it's in every shot. Here's the same piece from above. And again, there's that weld mark going all the way around. And so I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. But anyway, that's that. So I'm gonna go in and see what I can do about that little lever. So I'm gonna pull my reference up here, which is gonna be this guy. Oh, that one's a little on the blurry side. Let's grab the other one. That one's a little out of focus. I actually really love these photos because they're giving me a really good sense of the type of fabric that's in his cape, which I never would have guessed this from the show. It's really felted like this. It looks really, really interesting. So I'm just going to place this on my other monitor here where I can keep an eye on it. I know that I really like that reference. Let's see what this one's like. Oh, that's the better one. Okay. That's the one I want to look at. Okay. So I'm going to pop back in here. I've been using a technique inside of Max here, kind of off and on, that you may not have seen before. And I've really done this in very limited limited practice in using this because there aren't a lot of instances in which I need to resort to this. And what that is, I'm going to go and unhide all here to show you what I've got in my scene. So I've got a camera kind of placed over here. You can see kind of arbitrarily looking at the gun. And this camera has actually got its own viewport. This is not the front or the left or the right or the perspective. It's its own camera. And when we look through that camera, its viewport has its own background plate, which is from the show, and the perspective has been matched. And so I'm actually been able to place the camera or the gun here kind of where it lines up with this. Now, I was using this for scale, but there actually is a little bit of distortion in the photo that I was not able to correct. But this is a really neat way to be able to model in 3D space. Almost like using a blueprint, but a perspective-based blueprint. And it's a really, really neat thing where you can set up these lines to kind of get that shape to do what you want. Which is really, really cool, but in this case, I'm not super useful. I'm leaving it set up just so I can check a few other things here and there, but so anyway, let's go and do this little tidbit here. I think I'm going to throw some tunes on so that I have something to preoccupy my ears, since I can't hear you guys. And yeah. That'll work. Let's see what I can do here. So the first thing that needs doing, I just want to make sure that I'm on the right prop here, which is this guy. The first thing it needs doing is I got to cut the trench in here, which is where that piece goes. And so I'm just going to, it looks like it's a little higher than center, so I'm going to put it about there. And then I'm going to chamfer this to give me the thickness I need. I'll set this to a triangular chamfer. It's not bad. I'm just going to make this an even 1. I'm actually finding, in using centimeters here for my units and modeling this thing, I'm finding that almost every chamfer or bevel that I've done, when I get it really close to the size that I think it's supposed to be, it ends up being an almost exact number. No bizarre decimal points or anything like that. And I'm wondering if that's not an accident. I wonder if this is something that just based on how they modeled this thing, how they created this thing, because it's not based on any real weaponry. If that had something to do with it, it was rather interesting. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to change the color here of all my meshes. I use this really dark gray when I'm looking at things, but with having people watch what I'm doing, I know that you can't see this as well as I can. And so I am going to go and change my color here so that they're a little lighter so you can see them. So I need to cut a cylindrical hole into the mesh now based off this mesh here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold shift and scale this thing up. Until I get something that is pretty close to the shape and size of the hole that I want here. And I think that's actually a little too big. I think I'll do that. And then I'm going to bring it back. I wish there was some way of seeing how far back it should be. There. Loves me not, she loves me still. I don't think I actually made the clip or the pull pin long enough. Yeah, so I'm going to put that there. I'm going to take this guy and actually just scale him up a little bit here, because I don't think I made him long enough. He needs to be there. Okay. Make it a little shorter. That works. Okay, so with that, the whole goal in copying this piece over is I'm going to use this as a template to cut my hole. I'm going to drag it out, and I'm going to go to polygons here. I'm going to make sure that there is a back on this thing, which there is. And I'm just going to delete all of my polygons here, and I go back to my side view. And the reason for that is that it's going to give me the ability here to and move this forward. So that's the trench I'm going to cut. And this is essentially going to become like a cookie cutter that I'm going to use to get rid of this stuff, to cut this into the other shape. Okay, so something like that. In order to get this done correctly here, I'm going to go and just hide everything but these two shapes. And I'm going to start with this. You can see that it's not quite centered here. This is as designed. So I'm going to go to cut and turn on my vertex snapping. And I'm just going to arbitrarily pick one of these points and just start walking my way around this thing. And we'll go all the way to the front and walk my way around here. And that should do it. I'm going to leave that like that. We'll go take a look. So I just traced around the object with the cut tool. And as a result, I'm going to turn off snaps here. We can delete that shape. And if I select this guy, it's actually gone and cut that shape in there for me, which is quite lovely. The next thing I'm going to do is just take those 3 polygons. We're going to get out of this mode here. And I'm going to go and inset them. In fact, I'm going to bring everything here with me. Now, again, I'm modeling one side of this thing, and I really don't know what the other side looks like. I've not been able to find adequate reference. Looking at the fan props that have been made I don't think anybody knows what it looks like, because they are kind of all over the board in terms of guessing what the shape of this thing is. And I definitely don't. I don't want to guess. You know, I want this thing to be as exact as I can get it. Okay, so now I'm just going to inset these guys again, just a little bit, as is what I see in the image here. So I'm going to extrude them again. Just something like that. Which again should, you know, just catch the light nicely. And then I'm going to need to center the box here that I've got. So I'm going to do some cutting. See if I can do this from this angle. Cannot. Let's go up this way. So Max is a hard time cutting in perspective if you don't line things up. And it can end up giving you some funky results. There we go. So I'm just trying to zoom in on this thing. So I'm going to grab the frontward facing direction here. This is Y. And we'll copy that into the position of these two vertices, which I'll line up in Y and paste. Like so. So that's just going to make sure that's a perfectly straight line. We're going to isolate this. And I'm going to have to do the same thing on this side. And here I fade away. Why give in? It never ends. So now that I've got this this box, I need to center this inside of the oval. So the bevel back here is offset, but this is not offset. So the way that I'm going to do that to find the middle is I'm going to grab vertices from the top and bottom, and their average position is the middle. So if I go and grab the height here, that is the average height of those two things. So if I go back to polygons and I set this polygon to that average height, it's going to now center it in that space for me. So the next thing I need to do is clean some stuff up here. So some of these edges are unnecessary. I'm going to go and get rid of what I don't need. I'll do this with target weld. Why give in? It never ends. On until the end. This one actually works out quite nicely because it's that is a quad, which is beautiful. And by bringing that edge down, quadrifies this one too. My way. And now I can take this face here and I'm going to extrude it in further. Now, I can't actually see where this goes on the actual model. There's a hole in there, and presumably that is linked to the little sliding mechanism here, which would be on a spring, presumably. But what I'm going to do is to make this work here, isolate this guy. So I've got some ugly topology back here, but I'm going to go clean this up. I am finding I'm having difficulty selecting things in Max, where it seems to prefer the backside of things, which is just screwbally, man. I tell you, this new version of Max, this is the same thing that happens every time there's a version of Max that comes out. There's just so much broken. It's not like they're in too much of a hurry to release new features that, man, they break stuff. Okay, so with that done, I'm going to grab these 4 polygons, and I'm going to inset them. A lot less than that. So maybe something like that. And I'm going to scale them in a little bit here. I'm also going to go to vertex mode, and I'm just going to set these to Y. just so that the extrusion I make here is perfectly straight. So we'll hit extrude. A lot less than that. Start with that, and then we're going to move it here. So the idea is that this thing should then get buried here inside of the mesh, and then I'll just delete those polygons. So at least that there's some kind of rhyme or reason to that working the way it does. I may also take this stuff and scale it up to better fit the trench that it's living in. And then again, I'm just going to make sure I actually went past the edges that I didn't want to go past. So I've got some overlapping topology here. And I don't know what I'm going to do about it. Let's go clean it up. So we'll start with a cut, and we'll corner to corner here. And we'll do the same thing down here. Corner to corner. And I'll do the same thing over here. So something like that is going to allow me to get rid of all the nonsense in the middle here. And then let's get rid of all the edges. So this, I'm going to keep the middle one. This. I presume that needs a welding. Okay, and then what I can do is just cut across here, just quad this off. This edge too is going to be unnecessary. Let's worry about one side here for now. And then we'll go to cut. Start with this one. And this one. And there, now that's quite lovely. So we're just going to reproduce that topology back here. And by removing these edges. Again, I'll leave the center line. It's not hurting no one. And then these guys can go here. And again, I'll go to my cut tool. And you can see when you do a lot of topology altering like this, just how easy it is for geometry to get messed up on your shape. And then we'll do some target welding here. I'm bleeding May. Okay. I'm gonna be okay with that. And yeah, that's gonna work quite lovely. That's actually functioning now. Again, this is something that can get rigged, right? Where this can be pulled back, and then the mechanism can pop open, and I've got to go deal with the pin here. So I've got one more seam I've got to put in this. And to be honest, I don't know what the seam is, other than they probably didn't machine this, and that they actually just fused a bunch of pieces together to make what I'm seeing. I'm gonna have to get rid of my n-gons here too. There's only 2 vertices here. This might actually not be so bad. So I'm just gonna go from here to here. I'll have to clean this up when I do the high poly. I won't be able to leave these big long triangles in here, but it'll work. That one's fine. This is not fine, so we're gonna go up here. That's bleeding May. And then the other side, I have no idea what's going on the other side here. Oh, bleeding May. So I'm going to, I don't even know that I need this edge to continue all the way through this thing. I'm going to see where this thing is visible. Yeah, no, not at all. Okay. So I can kill it when it hits here. So yeah, I'll leave it there. And then I'll get rid of it. So, Zatargaveld. And I'm just going to pull this down here to make it clean. And same thing with this one. Which is a lot cleaner than what was there originally. We're going to go and just clean up the one Angon I see in here. We're going to get rid of the wasted topology. If there's any students watching, this is not just a rule for assignments, but this is something that needs to be done to all meshes, my own included. Actually, I'll be able to just double-click this edge and get rid of it. So again, this edge here serves no purpose. You know, it's not doing anything to my shape. And control backspace to get rid of it, and nothing has changed on my mesh. And so you've got to get rid of stuff like that. I'm going to go and merge this and ring, and I'm going to remove the back half of this, including this one. And we're just going to merge that down. So I'm getting a lot of like weird topology in these sections here, where, you know, I've got these edges and these big long faces. Not really much I can do about that. You know, I need the topology to go somewhere. I'm going to leave it fairly quadded like this in order to do my high poly, but when the low poly time comes, you know, I'm going to start triangulating this stuff off to where it doesn't need to be there. Now, this whole piece is only 500 polys. Like, it's not like it's expensive, but when you start adding it to the entirety of the gun, you know, I'm at 7,800 triangles right now. And, you know, I probably don't want to go over 10. And I'm only, you know, from the back to here up on the gun. So I still got the entire length of the barrel to go, the two prongs, the underbarrel, and all the mechanisms that hold them together. So I am going to go past 10. But again, this is not my low poly. This is more of it's kind of an in-between. And so that's where I'm going. I'm kind of doing a mid poly. If that makes sense, where it's not high poly, it's not low poly, it's kind of somewhere in between, and I'm going to use this quote unquote mid poly to derive both the low poly and the high poly. You know, I can clean it up and get the low poly, and I can leave the messy topology but start chamfering and turbo smoothing in order to get the high. And so it's kind of a dual purpose mesh here. Just looking for some more reference here. I'm cycling through my images. That's the one I wanted. I was looking at the bolt here. Holy jumping. 1, 2, 3. So there's 4 bevels on this thing. Which is just the bolt that holds the swing arm in. Man, oh man, is that's mental that there's that many bevels on this thing. Where is... I just want to see if I actually took away the... I did not. Okay, so there's a face on the back of the cylinder, which is unnecessary. We'll clear that out. And then we'll go in to start beveling here. So the first thing I'm going to do is push this back until it's the first bevel again. And then we can start going in here. So we're going to bevel out. And I'm just going to use the bevel tool. Even though there's some intrudes and insets and extrudes. Pardon my lips. I'm going to go out and in a little bit like that. A little less than that. Weigh my pain. We'll go out and in again. And that, and in again. Okay, so that's lovely, and I'm going to go and quad this thing off. Wasn't really sure how big to make this thing, but I needed to make it still look round. It's a pivot point, right? It's a rotation angle. And so without doing that, it's not going to look right. Okay. Tangled up in you. I'm still tangled up in you. Okay, yeah, that works. That works quite nice. I'm gonna do some smooth groups on this thing here. Not that it needs them right now. I just wanna see it a little bit closer to its final shape. Yeah, that's what I wanted. So it looks like a little bolt or hinge pin or something like that. Oh. So yeah, as I mentioned, there's a lot of reference of this side of the weapon. When he wears it on his back, that's the side that's out. So that's the side that we see. And whenever we see him in the show firing it, he's always holding it this way. We always see this side. I have yet to find any reference of this from the other side. The only images you find are the Ambit rifle. The only images of this thing that you find from the other side are fan props, and they are just wild guesses as to what's on that side. In fact, if you just Google this rifle, the only images of the actual prop that you see are always from the same side. And so, you know, it's the right side, or the what would be the passenger side. We're at a vehicle, same side, same side, same side, same side, same side, same side. Like that's really unusual. And so I'm trying to figure out what lives back there, but there's just so little reference of it. And these images, these are brilliant. These are from the D23, the Disney Expo, and I can't see them. You know, there's a few things that I can extrapolate from these images, but again, it's just guessing. For instance, at the back here, there's some kind of sling clip that goes on here. So there must be a mechanism on this side in order for that clip to get attached. But I just can't find it. I can't find a shot that shows me that side. With it against his back, it's just not visible. You know, we get kind of close in some of these shots, but it's one of the things that's Cardoon. They just didn't bother taking photos of that. And I don't want to guess. I don't want to. You know, what's the point of going this accurate with everything I'm doing and then to guess on the other side? And again, every shot of him with the weapon, always from the same side. I'm gonna change my search to the Mandalorian rifle instead of the Ambin rifle, which is its proper name, and just see if I can find anything screenshot wise. Where it's on his back, or it's not on his back, but it's in view. So there is this fight scene, which I believe to be my best bet. I know there's at one point in the show when he uses it as a taser, and he actually just leans out and zaps somebody. If I'm not mistaken, it's the same side that you see. And then she uses, Cara Dune uses it in the show too. But again, we're looking at the same angle here. It's almost like, and yeah, this wouldn't surprise me. Look. Almost. It wouldn't surprise me if they actually had something on that backside that we weren't meant to see. That is one of the reasons they always shoot it from that angle. It's always shot that way. And whenever he's pointing in the other direction, he's got his pistol. Let's see where his flame comes from too. I haven't been able to ascertain how his bracers work. His Vam brace. Oh, there's the other side. Let's see what we can see. Blurry ass gun. Blurry ass gun. Oh, you son of a bitch. It's not the side I want. So this is clever. Somebody's mirrored this. That's the original. It is shot from the same side, but somebody mirrored the shot to make it look like we're seeing the other side of him. That's not actually it. Oh no, wait, this is it. Wait, what gives? Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, I'm really confused. Okay, let me open this in a new tab. And where's the one where he's the other way? This one. Oh, I'm really confused. Open this in a new tab. Oh, no, this is mirrored. It is mirrored. Okay. Yeah, so I was looking to see if these two things are actually the same image mirrored, or if this just randomly happens to be another shot from the show. And they are indeed the mirrored shot. The thing what I was looking at was his bandolier, which for whatever reason I thought I saw going the other way on this one. But no, it's absolutely the same. This is a mirrored shot, which is how they got what appears to be that, which is dirty. So there's the side of the gun. That is not mirrored. That's too low res. The actual image here actually is higher. It does mean if I boot the show up, I may be able to grab one or two images here that are from the right side. Go see if I can find higher resolution version of this. Okay, it's a little higher resolution. I can't make out any details on that. There's a hollow under there. Tough, I tells you. But yeah, I know that there's something close to this end back here, upon which the sling is affixed. Okay. So one of the other shots that I don't have is looking down the gun in this direction. I don't know what happens in this void here. I've started making it. It is this metal piece here that, again, I know harnesses. What is this? The rest of the carbine here, but I don't know what goes inside that gap. It's closed off in the front, but I can't see what's back here at all. I don't have any shots from that angle. Again, it's one of those, it's really strange that they've done that, but there's just shots that don't show everything. I do have a little pin I'm going to make here. There's something else that comes out here. I haven't got a clue what it is. Just a little metal piece, as with everything on this. And then I'm going to alter the front of this as well. Looks like there are two prongs that are inset followed by a downward slope onto what is this curve here. Yeah, not a friggin' clue, man. All guesswork at this point. Okay, so I'm going to try and get the this part here to be a little bit closer. We'll use the fan prop to get the length of it right. And I actually think it's closer to here. Like the fan prop's got two more bevels here, which aren't on the actual rifle. So this matches a little bit closer to what I'm seeing in the original. And I need to add a square-ish extrusion to the top of this thing. Now, I'm not convinced I have the right shape here yet. And I think this thing is actually meant to be octagonal. Oh yeah, I'm nowhere near wide enough. Okay, this thing needs to be wider. How is that possible? Okay, so this is another mistake these other prompts have. Amazing. This part's too low. On the actual gun, it goes higher. This stuff. My generation. That's where it goes. Yeah, I'm actually... So using this image, I can actually see that I'm a lot closer. Again, this is my custom camera position here. That allows me to get this stuff as close as I can get it. To be different. Man, they really have that lower. About there. Bottom. Okay. Let's get out of here. I'm gonna go move the innards of this thing up here as well. Loud down soothes me. That's good enough. Okay. Running. So I just got rid of those pieces on the top to flatten the top out. Oh man, that looks too thin. Switch reference images. I'm almost at a point here where I think I should get rid of the fan-made images that I have, because they're just so far off. That's gonna go to here. That's not... It's not that far off. Yeah, no, okay. I think that's right. I think that's right. So we're just going to extrude this now. Conversation. Put it about there. That'll do. Brandon, you are an absolute pain in my ass. You're right. You're right. You're not supposed to use reference. Other people's artwork as reference. The catch here with this stupid thing is that there is only artwork of this. Even the prop that's in the show is somebody's artwork. Unlike most shows or most weapons used in shows, this is a completely custom, unique prop made for the show. So, in the world of Star Wars, like they do a lot of found props, right? Where they'll take old World War II guns and make manipulations of them to turn them into something else. That's actually what his pistol is. But in the case of this thing, man, it is. In the case of this thing, there only ever is artwork. I need Reese. I need Reese is what I need to get me some images. I don't know that he'll be able to, but I need some photos, Reese. If you're there, Reese, if you're watching, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah. Yeah, it's called, the paint they use is called Lumiluster, which is this. I've been looking at it because I've been trying to figure out exactly what the color is that they're using. But yeah, here's an 8-ounce jar for 170. And so I don't think it's $500 a gallon. I think it would be bigger. Oh no, it's 550 or 500 gallon. There it is there. But yeah, it's called the Lumiluster. And the people that made his armor, they are the same people. They are the same people that made Iron Man's armor. And so they've kind of got into this groove of being able to make plastic stuff look like metal, right? They've been very successful at that. And so yeah, I guess that paint is one of their magic tricks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tell you, man, when you work for a company like that, and they're like, listen, you've got so many thousands of dollars to make this thing look as good as you can make it, fart around. Ah, man, I've got a picture of this component, but it's not clear. Oh, there it is. Shadow, isn't it? I think it's Shadow. Oh. Yeah, I made it too thick. Okay, I'm gonna bring this in. Grow. Vertices. I could do anything. Well. This is gonna come up. So I do believe this might actually be octagonal. Like that. And not round. Actually, that's starting to form a perfect octagon, if I get this correct. So yeah, it looks like I'm okay. Okay, so I think in order to continue this part here, that's gotta go. I need to fix this piece, since there's some kind of a junction here between them. Okay. So I have an edge here already. And I'm going to chamfer this sucker. And this is going to be a triangular chamfer. Let's see if I can't get this as wide as I need it to be. It looks like I need it to sit inside that line. Or at least close to it. Close enough. Close enough. And then this is going to need another cut across here. Like that. And then there's another little extrusion on here. I'm going to put another center line. Screw you, Max. Okay, and then I'm going to split this edge too. Chamfer again. Kill that. That went the wrong way? No, it's just end gods. Okay, that's fine. So this has to be wider than the gap. Well, that's not bad. That's not bad. We're going to do that. And then I'm going to cut in here. This is about halfway, about there. Okay. So now that I've made a complete mess of my geometry, I can go and delete the bits I don't need. Which is this through here. Why am I seeing double vertices here? Oh, it's the da. Da is that piece. Okay. So what is going on with this guy, and why is his normal zone messed up? Okay, isolate him. Okay. Yeah, I don't think any of that. Away to say. This is a really interesting looking piece. This edge is no longer necessary. So I can clean that up. I've just got me hole now. I think this actually needs to come in just a smidge. If I said that you could just carry this gun, you'll even get paid. I said that sounds pretty good. Alright, so I'm gonna take this. This is not very thick. They cut off my hair, but it looks alright. We all became friends as we learned how to fight. Ba-da-da-da-da. That's what I'll be. I think that's okay. Shoot, I got an extra edge underneath. Oh yeah? Is it the actual prop? Or is it something somebody else is making? From his family and his friends. And baton's not just once, but again and again. Okay, that's starting to make sense. When I come home, Not this shit again. I don't think you can post links. I don't see one. But she pressed on, so I lifted my gun, fired away, and the shells jumped through the smoke. A flag white as snow. Just medals and scars. I will go check that out. I'm gonna throw it on my other screen here so that I don't get oh, that one, it does actually have moving components. Let's see how accurate it is. Huzzah. That is one of the more accurate ones I've ever found. Well, I guess that you found. Oh wow, they've done a really good job on that. Intriguing. So they posted a link to it. It's funny because in terms of the construction of the object, it's really accurate. I mean, they've got all the same little fiddly noodly little details that I'm seeing, but man, these guys couldn't paint for shit. Yeah, they've even got the 6 and 5. They're definitely not painters. I'll give them that. But they've got the magnetic release scope. Their prong is terrible. It's definitely one of the better ones I've seen. That's for sure. So here's the gun. So there's their muzzle, the prong at the front, and this is not the shape of that prong. It's close. It is definitely one of the closest ones I've seen. But because I have actual photos of the prong, this is the one from the show, and so the actual prong is actually got wires inside of it. Which is really, really cool. Like, it's a very, very small little detail. And then it's also got, like, these buttons and little greebles on the side, along with a very thin bevel all the way along. And it seems like no one's been able to reproduce that. Yeah, even the shape of this, you can see that the cone goes across, and theirs is just a hole. So maybe they have something inside. Maybe this thing fires something, and that's why they've done that. But it's definitely one of the closer props I've seen. Yeah, there's the actual one there. So this little bumpy detail here, everybody seems to have interpreted that as a like corrugated tube, and I don't know that that's what I'm seeing here. That's all prop. That's not the real one. And so yeah, it's. I mean, it is close. It is definitely the closest I've seen. Open this in a new tab. See how big that is. Yeah, it's not bad. It's definitely the closest I've seen. But like even just comparing the paint job, man, these guys are jokers. Um, they've got the octagonal barrel. Yeah, it's close. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I can't get a really good angle on it. I know that this is the copper wiring that runs to here, and there's definitely a void that starts there, and then it looks like it's bumps. And everybody seems to have interpreted it as a corrugated tube. And again, like there is a corrugated tube that's in here. Like it's not outlandish that they went in that direction. I'm gonna go check out their scope, see how accurate that is. Let's get out of here. I'm gonna take this. Like it's got the caulking mechanism. It's even got the little seam that's here, which again is just beautiful. They just made it capped inside here, which again I don't know how accurate that is. Thought I saw a shot. There it is. Oh, okay. So I think what I'm seeing here, I think this is all just 3D printed parts, right? We can actually see the printing here. Actually, Brandon, you'd be able to tell for sure. But that's what I'm seeing here is 3D print lines on here. And then they've nested magnets in here, which again, that is what the actual show uses. There's magnets buried in there. So he can pop the scope off and on. But you can see the actual scope has got knurling on it, which is really like really fine, and they just made it smooth here. It's close, but I don't know, man. When you do Star Wars props, close ain't enough. You have got to be precise. So this is another good example here of the accuracy of this. Yeah, that's what I assume. It looks like a print. It even looks like the wood is a print. There are some streaks on here. This looks like it was dry brushed. This is a shite paint job. There's the actual. That's the actual one, and that's their prop. The angle's not exactly the same, but it's there. That's closer. And so yeah, like it is close. They've got a lot of this stuff kind of in the right place. They've exaggerated this weld, and they've made it a bevel, which is interesting. I can't quite see the rest of the mechanism here. It looks like it's okay. It's actually it's a bend. It goes straight across and then bends down again. Which I mean, they've got it pretty close. It's definitely of all the props I've seen, this is by far the most accurate. Oh look, there's knurling here. It looks like they actually do have knurling on some of it, which is funny because this one, oh yeah, no, that's got knurling too. Well, yeah, they did. This is definitely the best I've seen, which is good. 425 bucks. That's mental. Um, It's definitely Merc Blaster Pulse Rifle prop. And they do have plastic with aluminum core and metal screws. 59.5, 5 pounds. Working prop reload, hand painted. Let me go check out who this is. Treywick Designs. I don't want to go to their website. I actually just want to. I don't want to buy anything of theirs. I just want to Google them and see who they are. Search. There they are. So it looks like they are a specialty prop maker. Well, there, now they've got... Okay, so this is... So funny, this is the actual, the print that you sent me the link for. This is the sculptor, or the people who made that print. And this is more accurate than the one that's there. I can actually see the metal wiring, copper wiring in the prong here. Still looks like it's open at the tip. Get rid of this. Oh, that's not right. They must have another piece that goes on top of that. It's such a weird thing when you get this in depth with working on a prop, because you really do start becoming quite familiar with it. Yeah, so they're using torque bolts, and it's actually just it's not torque bolts that hold it on. It's yeah, I wouldn't doubt it that this is the same one as the video that that was sent here, but this is probably, yeah, a an updated version of it where they've seen more footage. So again, it's so funny to me that people would 3D print a wooden piece. Yeah, it's cool. This is definitely not bad. It is it is far more accurate than what I've seen. I want to see him get the housing together. That's what I wanted to see. Yeah, so it looks like he's got it just blocked off with a hole in there. So that rod, that metal rod that's in there, they're using that for strength, right? Because this is all just a plastic gun. And if you get something that's like friggin' 6 feet long... Hey, Bray, what's up, brother? Yeah, exactly, man. Oh, wow. No, that is really accurate. Okay, so I'm just looking at this piece here. So one of the things that almost everybody has screwed up is the wiring that goes over the top of this piece. The actual prop, the wires are all bent. It's actually copper tubing, and it looks like it's been hammered. It's actually all kind of broken into different pieces. But there's a third one, and all of the props only have two. And the third one doesn't wrap around. This one's close in that it doesn't actually go straight in here. It actually bends and then goes into the prop back here. But this is pretty close. That's the first one I've seen that's got that part right. There's the pin. So that's the sling hook. So that's where the sling goes on that. So it does have at least this one has got the mechanism on the other side. It is interesting. It is interesting. That's where the metal goes. Magnets for the trigger. There's a full assembly of the thing too. Which, I mean, it's cool. Shaky cam. So it looks like the other people have purchased this kit, which is 230, have assembled it, painted it, and are selling it for double that. That is a good way to make money. Although their paint job is just shite. And it does look like they've made changes to it. It's funny, this paint job is way better. Really? They just give me a link to their... Was ist das? Oh, this is schematics. This is the images of their print. That's not a bad little reference right there. I'm not gonna have a functioning trigger on mine. I don't have a point for that. I don't have a need for that. Magnetic scope. So yeah, so here's the piece that I'm actually making right now. They've got it as octagonal as well. Yeah, that's what I was just modeling. Oh, and they're stopping their edges there. See, that's not right either. It's close. It's close. I'd say mine is closer. Oh, wait, hold on a sec. No, this is the right side. Okay, so for the sling strap that they're using, they've got a very deep bolt that goes all the way in, probably to support the weight of the thing. Link to switch for trigger. So they've got bubbles in here, that's what it is. And they do have, there's the 5, the 3, and the 1 wire. So they do have the wiring in there. The cone is still open, which is not right. But yeah, in terms of prompts, this is a good find. This is far more accurate than anything I've seen. It's not great, but it's... I actually want to go check out their... Wait, what is this? I have no idea what this is. Yeah, I've never seen that. Mandalorian D10, that's Boba Fett's gun. TV rifle, that's the wrong one. I want the TV blaster. Actually, I have none. I have no references or images of this. I haven't done enough research into this yet. I know that it's a German World War II pistol that's been reconfigured, but I haven't gone to look at reference for this. And so I have no idea how accurate or inaccurate this is. I gotta make me one of these. So cool. I may need to keep this in mind. Wolfgar weapons and prompts. Just funny, man, that they've gone and put a shitty paint job on it, and that they actually tell you. They actually tell you here that it was made by these guys and that they've just painted it. That's just really funny, man. That is a good business model to resell someone else's shit. So yeah, it's definitely helpful. I'm gonna keep going off the actual prop for now, and what I'll do is I'll bounce over to that if I get to a point where I can't see it anymore. Oh, this is solid. So no, I think actually he was right about shortening these things. Actually, if you look up in the Michael, if you look up in the chat here, I didn't find that; it was given to me. And then yeah, the other ones, the photos that I'm using, that's a shadow, so that is straight. Okay, so I just need to bring that to the ground here, not this. This. I'm going to bring this back. This edge is going to have to give it chamfered. No, it's going to be about there. Which means I don't have... No, that is sealed up. Okay. So what I got to do now is extrude this. Before I get too carried away with this... Oh no, I'm on a separate piece. Okay. This is going to go here. Let's go find out exactly where that's supposed to go. Edge, paste, 742 becomes 7. I was off by 1/100th of a centimeter. All right, so we're gonna do that. We'll go mirror to shucker. Okay, and then this has got to be sealed up. So it looks like these two actually merge. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna attach these together, and then this is incorrect. Take the X direction of this, and I'm gonna paste it here, and the X direction of this, and paste it here. And then I can go in and delete that. That's not helpful at all. I'm gonna detach this as an element and just flip it so that I can bridge. One at a time. Ah, damn it. Screw off, bridge. Ah, damn it. Okay, mirror time. Okay, now we can bridge here. Put my edge back in. Okay, now go under here and delete these things. Okay, that works. We'll get the height of this. I holding on. You got it, man. Thanks for the reference. Holding on. Okay, we'll try to weld this guy back. There. This is not going to do what I want it to. Isolate this so I can see everything here. Nah. We'll grab some Y. Reach for the Y. Put that in there. Yep, that's what I want. And then I gotta bridge these two things. Right, that needs a cut. I feel like there's more vertices here than there should be. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, let's grab the Y for this. Reach for the Y. And paste that in there. Beautiful. Okay, that's good. Now we'll bridge this. What? Okay. I gotta make another cut here. No, 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 no. Dum. Okay, let's grab some Z. Paste some Z. And then we can bridge this. Fuck off, bridge. You know, sometimes I love when it remembers my previous settings, and sometimes I just want it to fuck off. Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Okay, that looks now more accurate. And I'm going to symmetry this, and we'll just make sure this is delicate. I think that's all going to come forward. Let's get out of here. We are all alone. Yeah, that fits a little bit better. Something is definitely off here. Cool, man. I'll check it out for sure. Okay, I'm pleased with that. Okay, so there is one more element of this. I think this still needs to be extruded down a little bit. And I'm going to move these vertices in. I'm going to grab the X position of this. Okay, that works. Feelings I've shared. This is going to have to get chamfered. That's going to be rounder. I'm not doing any of that right now, though. It's all stuff I'm going to do after. So that's almost everything. So it looks like all the other... Whoa, what the hell's going on here? What did you do? What did you do? Three vertices. That's what you did. Yeah. Let's pull this in here. Something... do I have a hidden polygon? That's gonna suck a bunch if I do. I do not. So, why you no weld? How to get the weld? What's up, Christian? I'm doing your favorite thing in the world there, Christian. Sleep. I can't weld this. I mean, it's not the end of the world if I can't. I'm just confused why I can't. Let's get rid of this. Oh. What is that? Why are there multiple edges here? Yes, sir. I am weapon modeling. Firearm. There we go. Welded now. So yeah, it seems like all the other props have this inset and then they just cap this off. And so I'm going to wait to see if I can't find better reference for this. It seems like too big and flat of an area for me. And so I'm going to wait and continue along with my reference. Okay, next. Corrugated tube, which is going to sit in here. Which looks to be a series of humps. Okay, so this is going to be made out of a cylinder. This is going to be overly expensive for what it is, but there ain't nothing I can do about it. It is what it is, and that's all that it is. So I'm going to go here and draw this out. And it's going to live inside there, so I'm going to make it wider. Like so. Let's go and center this. I was 0.001 away from the middle. That's mental. Okay, this is to sit in here. Why is that edge off? What are you? What are you doing? Oh, this whole thing is off. Gonna do that. Gonna do that. Oh, don't do that. I wanted you to know. Okay, so if I go to this guy again, that's where it's going to sit. So we're going to scale it away. I know it serves me well. Oof. When I'm lonesome, I don't feel right. So trying to find the right number of edges for a cylinder here sucks a bunch of balls. So I need this to sit flush against this guy. Flush? Flushish. About there. And it's rough because I'll just convert this out of poly. I need it to be accurate. I can't see that whole detail from that shot. Away. Come on, ribbing. I like this gun. It's ribbed for my pleasure. 'Cause I'm broken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 ribs. 12 ribs. And it's flush with this. All right. So obviously the cylinder is really big. Oh, really, really big. So I'm trying to match the curve that I see on the reference. And I know the curve doesn't pass this lip, so I'm kind of up here in the right area. Now, I can adjust the curvature of this thing by moving it up and scaling it in. So if I bring it to about there, right, I can get to about that size curvature, which I think once I put the ribbing in, that's going to give me the height for the ribbing. So I think that's going to work a little bit better. How close to an edge did I get here? Feel like gone away. All right, so we'll delete some polygons. And pray to God that we can't see that they're gone. I wonder what the reference World War II rifle used to make Mando's rifle. There wasn't one, Christian. So whenever I make rifles or any firearms, I went through this in the last video, but you weren't here, you little fucker. You watch my videos, you bastard. No, so whenever I go make weapons, the first place I go is IMFDB. So IM Internet Movie Firearms FDB database. And here is a list of every video game, TV show, and movie, and the guns that were used to make those props. So if I go to the search here and I type in Mandalorian, and we close that video, and we go to the Mandalorian series, and then pause the video again, because fuck off. You'll see that there's season 1, and we'll pause the video because fuck off again. And they have a list of every weapon used in the show, and then they have screen reference, and then here's the prop. And if you go and read with this fuck off video, god damn, a blaster pistol used by the Mandalorian, aka Djarin, as his main sidearm. It is based on the Bergman 1894. Because of the rarity of the real pistol, it seems like the prop used in the show is a replica instead of an actual Bergman. A number of modifications were made to the Bergman for the blaster's design, including the new iron sights, a muzzle device, modified grip, a modified hammer, and a smoothed-out magazine cover with the circular grasping handle removed. And so it's kind of a neat thing that they go and show you what was used to make it. Up here they show you like what the original weapon was, and then they show you shots from the show. And if I scroll down, and then they show you a bunch of shots from different parts of the show and whatnot, so you can see the modifications. So here's the DH-17, which is the classic Boba Fett type looking gun. And And yeah, so this is this one, based on a Sterling SMG. And you see it in a couple of shots here, including the fact that Mando uses it. The SE-14, and again, the original gun that was used to make this thing. The Stormtroopers have it. The Ruger, which is used here, it looks like it's unmodified here. But anyway, you can go through all these guns, and you can actually see, what they were, what was the original source material for this. And so anyway, I'm in the pistol section, ATM, and if I go down to the rifles here, here's the Ambin sniper rifle, which is what I'm making. Here's a shot of the actual prop on set. Oh, fuck off, video. And there is that little eyepiece that I've been trying to find reference of. It looks like the only shot of it. But anyway, this is the rifle here, and if you take a look at it, it's his primary weapon. Kara borrows it in one of the episodes. In some of the original concept art for the series, it was built off an AKM receiver. However, the actual rifle appears to be an entirely fabricated prop, which means that's it, man. That's all there is on this thing. The weapon was first seen by audiences wielded by Boba Fett in the cartoon, which I thought they would have had a shot of that here. But they don't. So anyway, that's what I'm making. The AKM that is referenced here is these guys here. And I've made an AKM. Actually, I think, Christian, you've made an AKM before. It's just like such a crazy, super budget weapon that's really reliable, which is why it's kind of everywhere. But anyway, none of the components of this are part of what I'm doing. I thought maybe originally when they said that it appeared to have been based off an AKM, that they might have just taken the receiver from this and started modifying it. But man, nothing of this is on Mando's gun. There are some similarities in things like the video, like the sight here with the little bubble and the dip that happens here. All of that appears really similar to part of the sights back here, where there's the little bubble and the dip, and then the round part here. But other than that, I can find nothing from this that looks like that AKM. And so, yeah. And so, yeah, so for this particular weapon, and again, it's unusual because most Star Wars prompts are found, right? Most of them are as you said, they are real, actual World War II guns that they've manipulated to make them look sci-fi-ish, which is a really, really freaking good trick. But in this case, nope, not this one. And so it is what it is. I couldn't have timed that better if I wanted to. I just got a notification from Disney on my phone that look what's coming new to Disney Plus in October. Okay, so I'm gonna need, let's see, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21 cuts on this. No, 20 cuts. Okay, so this and 20. Does that match? Oh, that doesn't match that badly. Okay, so I'm gonna do this a different. Yeah, it is. It's really, really rare that they do something like that. It happens on occasion, but yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of these things. Okay, so I'm gonna do this again with 11. What the f am I listening to? There we are. Okay, so I need to set this to 11s. That's better. All right, so we're gonna say okie doke. there's one at the back. I have to undo this. So 1, 2, and I need to hit 13. Shoot. It's not going to work the way that I want it to work. If I'm going to build a bridge on that. Shite. Okay. That's where I want that. Oh, no. Okay. So, yeah. We'll do 11 cuts on this. Okay. And then each of those cuts I'm going to chamfer. But I also need to chamfer this one. Me. Don't speak. Why did I feel like that went wrong? I wish you would. And I think I need this one too. Okay, so that's going to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's too many. Okay, 2. I gotta make 9 cuts. Don't speak. Okay, I'm gonna chamfer this 0.1. And then I'll chamfer the front and the back. 0.2, doubling it to give me the right thickness. Suckage. Nope. 0.1. I have to do this a different way. Come here, you. And that means this one's broken too. No, not that one. Just this one. What the fuck? Okay, fuck it. I'll do this a different way. I can't get the spacing right here. So what I'm going to do is delete those guys and clone this to a new element. Go to vertices and turn on my vert snap. And there. Spacing the same. And I'll do the same thing at the front here, because again, I can't be sure. There we go. So I can weld this. And then what I'll do is I'll take the front of this, and I'm just going to line it up with that piece. Which actually curves in, so I'm going to bring it in just a little bit. Okay. Okay, that gives me my bevels. Boom, 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 boom. Shit. Right there. Oh. Motherfucker. Okay. I'm going to shrink this down. Far away from here. There we go. Okay, let's try this now. Get out of here. Okay, this is taking forever. I'm going to go to edge, select an edge. We're going to dot loop the edge, and then ring and polygons. Okay, that's faster. Let's go and add a bevel. It's a little on the large side. Let's tank that. Try to scream, but it only comes out as a yawn when you try to see the world beyond your front door. Try to figure out what all this is for. This needs to be local. El local normal. And jump through with my gym shorts on. So this I didn't count on, which is unfortunate. I actually need these pieces to keep going. And now they stop because I've deleted my cylinder. And so, fuck sticks. Let's see what we can do to fix this. I'm gonna hit OK. Not screwed yet. But it only comes out as a yawn when you try to see the world beyond your front door. Tell me I'm still asleep. Pinch me, I'm still asleep. Please, God, tell me that I'm still asleep. Alright, attach. Now that I got all my bits back. Don't lose track of your bits. Notice that I'm not around. I wasn't extruding, I was beveling. There we go. Now it does go inside where it's supposed to go. I'll still have to delete a good old chunk at the bottom here, but might as well do this. I'm gonna catch you in a bit, Toph. This dwarf anatomy whooping my ass. You got it, brother, man. We'll talk next time. Tell me I'm still asleep. Pinch me. Okay, let's see what we can do about making these round here. I'm going to go to the quad chamfer and start bringing this up. These things have to be perfectly round, so it would be nice if I can get the width here to be fairly exact. And then I'm going to change my tension to 0.5. That wasn't tension. Try that again. This as the tension. No, that's the number of segments. That's the tension. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. So now that I've got that in there, I want to kind of compare it. And I think I'm a little longer than I should be. So, shrinky dink. Since I did go and move some of this stuff here, we'll just move it back to get it correct. It still feels really long to me. Just trying to find something decent to listen to here. All right. I'm still kind of trying to use that a little bit as reference, but I know it's not perfect, and so I'm going to do what I can. This is meant to be curved in here, rounded like that, and then flush and flat in the front. When I woke up this... Okay, then this... That I'm not around. Son of a bitch. I wanna hold you. So I'm gonna put another cut in here. Way that a daughter should love his daughter. And we'll go delete these guys. So yeah, so I thought this was wrong on the other prop, but looking at the reference here, I do believe they may have used this exact reference in the creation of their prop, because there are lots of similarities here that I'm finding. And I wanna hold you. Won't you? I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. Way that a father should love his daughter. Okay, getting some theirs. So this is actually meant to go down halfway and then angle back, which means I need to put a cut in here, which I'm going to level out in Z. And I think I need to bring this up. Or I'd hazard a guess. And I wanna hold you. Okay, so let's do this and bridge. And then switch over to this mesh, and I gotta bring the bottom of that up. So this is, if you've ever seen my my MP5K, I am paying a lot more attention to the shape and design of this thing than I did my real MP5K. And the reason for that, again, is that this is Star Wars, right? And you screw up a Star Wars prop and the fans will crucify you. I know that because I a fan. You know, I love this shit. And it's important that this stuff is right. You know, I've got a lot of Star Wars collectibles, and I tell you, the day that I get one and it's inaccurate and there's pieces that, like, just that as a casual observer, I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's not what that's supposed to look like. I get really upset. Like, you couldn't get that right. You couldn't have spent the extra 5-10 minutes to, like, do it the right way. Which is why, you know, I'm critical of myself doing this stuff here, where I'm essentially doing the same thing. So yeah, so I need a curve here. There's 2 bolts that live on here as well. I'm going to move this forward again. I keep looking at shots, and it's like, oh, it's different. Oh, it's the same. Oh, it's different. Oh, it's the same. And I was 11 years old, just to myself. We'll see how much of this thing I can get rid of now. Where'd you go? Mommy, won't you tell me? I'm not trying to fake it. Man, there's no one home in the house of pain. Why does Max not grab an edge where I tell it to? These stupid drunken monkeys. This new version seems to prefer back-facing edges than it does the front-facing ones. Makes no freaking sense, man. So I'm going to go to vertices, and I'll turn on my edge constraints. And I'm going to drop this down just until it passes that edge. I needed to get past that corner. So those of you on the Discord, I don't know if you saw it or not, but I sent Brandon, who's now gone. I sent him my my Mando helmet, as he has a 3D printer, and I wanted to see if it was print worthy, and so I sent it to him, and he did a print up, and he posted the images of it in the work in progress, or I guess it's not. Well, I changed the name of it, not work in progress, but showing off. And so he's posted the print of that, which I'm stoked. I mean, it printed really, really small, right? Like, it's just the ZBrush file, so I think it's 28 millimeters, something. It's just big enough to fit on his thumb. But it's cool, man. Like, it worked, and it's pretty solid. Okay, 10. Keep an eye on the time here so I don't stay up too late. I got classes tomorrow. I still got another seam to put in here. Oh, and I've got the bottom plate too. I haven't created the bottom plate yet. Essentially, it's going to go on here. It's not bad. It looks like the front of this thing can just get capped, which is lovely, because that's stupid easy to do. Just looking to myself. Where were you? Where'd you go? Daddy, can you tell me? And I ain't the one to blame. No one home in my house of pain. And again, all of these corners here, like all of that's going to get chamfered to make it just subtly round. I guess that's too big. In my house of pain. Okay, so I'm pretty pleased with that piece. These nuts, I'm going to grab from here. Bring this up here. Yeah, that's good. I'm trying to make all my nuts from the same source material, so that from the same like single mesh, so that I don't get varied sizes. Right? I don't want big ones and little ones. I want them all kind of be the same. And there is actually a little bit of variance on this thing in terms of the shape of the nuts. Some of them are a different size than others, and so I'm kind of trying to be careful about, like, I don't want to scale this. It might be too big. I might have to use the small one. There's the small one. Coming. Well, thing to say. Yeah, that's better. In the world. So again, I want to center it in this piece here. So the easiest way to do that is to grab an edge that does run that length, and its position is where I want the nut to go. So I can just copy that, grab that, paste that, and that'll put it where I want it. I need to drop it down so that it's just on the surface here. And I'm going to copy the X position and make a clone. Cancel. Try that again. And say OK. And I'm going to paste this with a negative. Get the one on the other side. Okay, bolts. There's some other bolts I haven't done here. I should probably get to. These ones are going to use the larger variety of nut. Go. Now on some weapons, so all these bolts are actually rivets. They look like they're punch rivets or something of that nature. And if I was doing screws, like on an actual proper gun, you know, where it had torque bolts or it had you know, this other kind of bolt or whatever, you know, Phillips head screws or something, I would actually only make one, and I would unwrap that in a larger portion of my UVs. I would actually purposely tank my textile density to get a little bit more resolution out of the bolt or out of the screw, so that it you know, does show up really nice and clean. Since my lonely birth began, I hope it never ends. So that's good. I'm just noticing that this is actually meant to be on an angle here. Actually, you know what? Let me see the I want to see the other reference. Oh yeah, no, totally. They put it on an angle there. Oh, I screwed that up. So it's this guy. In you. Goes there. Still tangled up in you. I was just noticing that this bolt is actually supposed to be higher. Tangled up in you. Now this is a big flat surface. I'm surprised they didn't greeble it one way or another. It's kind of interesting to see that. Okay, so I think I'm pretty much done with the receiver here, other than the chamfers. It looks like there's some bolts that go on the bottom of this. I think this might actually need to be flattened on the bottom. I'm going to try and see if I can see an angle of that here. So I can see there's a bolt there, but I can't quite see the bottom of it. So I'll cycle through my images here and see if I can see the bottom of that sucker. These are the... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to delete these because they're not accurate, and I'm not actually referencing them at all. So this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this. None of these are accurate enough for me. Oh, I gotta keep that one. What's the... It's gone. Oh. What am I supposed to hear? What am I looking for? I'm looking for the bottom of this. Oh. I can't see it there. I'm anxious to work on the scope here. It's going to be fun. Those look like rivets as well. So that thing's actually riveted to the barrel. Which, again, if this was a real firearm, right, you would never rivet anything to the barrel. It's just foolish. Oh, that's odd. That doesn't look like metal to me. Like, this is all... It looks like Parkerized steel. It's really, really smooth. But then when you look at this, it almost looks like it's leather or something. I mean, there's a metal ridge there. Maybe it's just like a highly dented metal. I'm going to have to find that piece elsewhere. I can't see it there. Oh, what was that? Oh... Yeah. Yeah, funny. This piece is actually something fairly unique looking. That's the shot I'm looking at. It's the wrong one. Can't see it there. Blurry AF. Hard to tell. This is probably the closest I have. What do you want to hear? I think it is. I think this is straight, and then there's an angle here, and then it's straight across as well. That is what I'm looking at. That's what I'm seeing. Let's see if I have a clearer shot of this. No, I'm back here again. Straight, bevel, and then, yeah, straight across. Okay. Easy peasy, that's what I'm going to do. So I've got the bevel, straight down, the bevel. And that's easy. It just means that I'm going to remove these edges here. Finally loved you. Oh, I don't want to get rid of that one. I'll get rid of these two. And this one. Without getting rid of all this. No, this. Why you do that? I'll get rid of that. Okay, so that looks more accurate. Let me go back to the image. We've got an angle. It's going to be rounded straight, in, out, down, in. Okay, that looks okay. Now, this gap looks wrong to me. It actually looks really small here. Him calling. I hear him sing. That looks like what I should have. Again, this guy's wrong. And actually, he's in shadow here, so I couldn't really see what he's doing. But it's definitely not as accurate. Now to me, Martin Luther, Pericles. Goes here. Come draw with black. Yeah, no, I think that's right. From the hero's track. I'm going to see if this has got an octagonal barrel here. I don't believe it does. I believe the barrel is cylindrical. It's definitely a cylinder. Ooh, that's octagonal. Okay, so that means that the next piece just ends at this thing. That's easy enough. So I've got a cylinder that I've placed in here that right out of the gate, I decided how many edges around my barrel was going to have, and I decided its thickness, and I kind of placed it here. And you can see exactly why I want to do that is because there are multiple different pieces along here that I have to make, and these guys are kind of serving as the template for which all of those other pieces are going to be made. And so like I created them, made them the right size. I haven't converted them to edible poly yet though, and that's because like when I get to the octagonal barrel, well, cool, I can just take this and drop it down to 8, and there's my octagonal barrel. And so that's kind of why I'm doing this. So I'm going to bring this guy back. And I'm just gonna very delicately embed it inside of this one. So again, just a smidge inside there. Come join the murder on my way. So now I can grab all these vertices and again, just bring them to here. I am going to have to double check this against reference to make sure that that is not wrong on that rifle. We're going to transparent this. So we got 2 mounts. No, we got 1 mount. And we got a bevel. So I'm going to have to bevel it here. So we're going to bevel. And then this is straight. Can't see where it goes into this piece, but I can't imagine there's another bevel there. So there's actually a leather strap on the actual gun that goes through here. Which actually, if I'm not mistaken, that strap holds it to his belt so the gun doesn't move around while he's running. Which I would presume that to be a filming thing. I don't believe it's something that is part of the show. Part of the lore of this thing. Like Martin Luther, like Pericles. Come join the murder. Come draw with black. He'll touch freedom from the human track. Okay. I do have some polygons inside here that I know I don't need. And he'll make you king. So delete that. That's going to become the barrel. And then I've got this funky part in the middle. Which, again, I'll take my original shape here and clone it. Now, one of the reasons I went as high as I did with the polygon count on this thing, I haven't really, like, I'm making a character here, but if this was a first-person shooter and you look down here to kind of, like, zoom in along the rifle here, you would very much see that those things aren't round, and so I've been treating it like it's a first-person shooter. Which again, it's not going to be. This is going to be a third-person weapon. I'm already at 11,000, so I do want to be a little careful. But that's why I'm doing this, is to just get something that will work as a first-person gun. Like Martin Luther, like Pericles. Join the murder. Come with black. So, before I extrude this here, I'm going to take a copy of the underbarrel. And in this case, we're going to isolate these two. And the reason for this is that I need to extrude this, and I can't have it touch the underbarrel. And I can really clearly see on this image, I can see how much distance there is here. And so that's what I'm trying to match. And so we'll grab polygons, these guys. I'm going to use push. The human track. To come join the murder. So on my way. Okay, we'll get out of here. So I didn't get it quite as thick as they've got it here. So this may be an instance of... Yeah, this underbarrel is not in the right place. They done screwed that up. Why do I feel like you're not doing what I want you to? It is, it's going out on an angle. Okay, screw you, push. Actually, now let's use push. Walked away. Why didn't she tell me? Where do I go tonight? This isn't happening to me. This can't be happening to me. She didn't say a word, just walked away. Then we were not all right. Where to go tonight? She just walked away. Not all right. Okay, so that's that guy. Actually, since there's nothing else to do on this thing, it's not like the other meshes where I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to go and put my slight chamfer on this to make it a little rounded. I'm going to do this with a uniform chamfer. And it's just got to be delicate. I don't really need it to be all that big. Just like that. And that's just going to catch the light the right way so you can see that it's a little rounded. I don't want it to look sharp, right? It's not kind of the, not the point of this. Then now I'm okay. It is becoming rifle-like. This was my first love. So again, I'm going to take my original piece here and move it back before making a new one. And again, I'm just going to softly embed that in there. Bring this down to 8. I shall go check my barrel reference. My eyes. So this goes all the way to the triangular bit here. So yeah. And when she leaves you for dead. So we'll grab that. I didn't bring this one far enough. Get out of the way, my friend. So yes, so this is going to go all the way to here. And again, I don't actually need the barrel, so we'll delete this stuff. Boink. And I'm going to chamfer this. I'm going to try and use the same little micro chamfer that I did here. But this one I don't actually care if it's... that is uniform. I'm going to bring this up. I still want it to appear octagonal. I don't want it to actually look round. I think that looks okay. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So the really nice thing about this, in terms of how these pieces are constructed, and you know, this is probably due to the fact that this is not a real weapon but a prop, is it's segmented, right? Like you get the wood, which is one segment, you get the main housing here in the middle, and then you get the first chunk of barrel, some kind of a grip thing, another chunk of barrel, and then like the muzzle. And so instead of this like really big long kind of goofy thing, they've done a good job of kind of breaking this up, which makes it look a lot more natural. And it adds detail, right? Instead of having this big long barrel. And so it's probably a result of just this thing being a prop. But it is neat the way that it works out. Stranger, stranger, stranger things than I know. Oh, oh. Okay, let's see what I can do with this little guy here. So this one, I'm going to move down till the gap is right. Just about there. And again, I'm ignoring the background plate here now because I don't believe it accurate. Smoke that fills the air. I think it's too thin. Let me go check out the thickness of these things here. Radius 1.4. Radius 0.3. Want me to be... I have a funny feeling that I should do this in a different size. You're not alone, dear loneliness. 7385. So I'm going to just try this new size on here. 7385. Whoa. Oh. God, that looks thick. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. I'm just looking at the reference pictures here of the barrels and trying to find the scale of the underbarrel based off the scale of the upper barrel. And what I'm seeing when I look at this, there's the width of the barrel, and then there's the width of this guy. Not alone, dear loneliness. Trying to also sort out shadow versus in shadow. Okay, so from here to here, that really looks like the same width of this. Telling me that this thing is half the width of this. I can bring this into Photoshop. We'll go take a look. Oh, you're not alone, dear loneliness. This guy. Okay, so let's see if we can't suss out here just what is going on. Oh. So the first thing that I want to do is just make sure that it's straight. That'll help me sort everything out here. Let's see if the bottom is straight. Well, that's pretty straight. That's cool. Very little distortion in that image. Okay. So with that, what I'm going to do here now, turn that off. What? Search. So I want to select the width of this barrel. 296. And 150. You could die. Told myself that you were right for me. Felt so lonely in your company. So I would say that that is exactly half. This guy's pretty close to 300. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong number here. Let's make sure we're looking at the right number. 900. Oh, is the end. And 400. So it's not exactly half. That we would still be friends. Over. You didn't have to me off. $225. Do 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 do. I'm doing a ratio calculator here. Try and get this exact. Me over. And that I'm done. But I don't want to live that way. Reading into every word you say. $2.5. Okay, so 2.5. Make out like it never happened and that we were nothing. So I'm going to do 1.477. I need to do this the other way. Then I don't need to know. That I used to know. That I used to know. That I used to know. This ratio calculator is not what I want. It's doing things the wrong way. I think this is the last thing I'm going to do today. Ooh. $2.5. So I want. Oh, I wanna be inside. 1.477 divided by 2.5. 5908. So that's how big this guy should be. And here I say. There we go. A little math does the body good. Or so they tell me. Okay, so now I want to place this guy, and I know. Actually, that's pretty good right there. Which is good. Now, this one, I think, does run the entire length of the barrel. I am, again, going to reference this to make sure that that is the case. This one. And this one. Okay, so it's plugged in there. That's the very tip. An isle in a hole. That's the one I wanted. So it's got a bevel on here. Solid, solid. Can't see back there, but presumed to be solid. Ooh. Why would you do that? There's a bump here. So it looks like this thing was made imperfect. So here's the question. Do I hold true to the prop and make this all fucked up? Or do I make it the way that it should look and improve on the design? I make it look the way it's supposed to look, not the way it does look. Hey, I have been guilty of kicking myself in the... before I do this, I'm going to bring another one of these over here, just in case I need it again. I wanted to do that before converting it to an editable polygon. Down in a hole. That works. Feeling so small. Down in a hole. Losing my soul. Fly. And there's something in this world. This part of me from you. Rains down and here I stand. You. Oh, I wanna be inside, down in a hole. Okay, 0.4. 0.4. 0.04. Down in a hole. Feeling so small. Okay, so I'm gonna make one of the clamps here that holds the underbarrel to the larger barrel. Just because I want to see this a little bit closer to its end shape here, end product. So again, I'm going to use the fan art as a placement guide in terms of where I'm going to put this, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to go click an edge here. I'm going to go grab its position because I've got that, you know, relatively in the middle of this thing. And then I'm going to grab this one and I'm going to put an edge in here. And I will just duplicate its position like so. The next thing I need to do, look at my reference here. Oh, good, it's uniform. I like when there's uniformity to things. So I'm going to chamfer this now. And I'm going to get it to line up with the thickness. Again, using the reference here, which doesn't actually look to be that far off. So this is 0.329. We'll go to this one, into the edge, and we'll chamfer. And I'll put that value in with triangle, and okay. So what I've done is I've essentially chamfered the two objects independently, but in exactly the same place. Now, I need to go to this one. And I'm just going to eyeball these here to try and get them as close as I can. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude these. Before I do that, I'm going to detach it as a clone. And then we're going to get rid of all these edges, which no longer serve a purpose. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to go to these polygons and detach them. Again, as a clone. And I can grab the edges, which, again, no longer do anything. And then, if I just go and select these two things, I'm going to isolate them. Boom, 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 boom. I'll attach them together. Oh, you know what I just realized? Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that. Okay. before I do anything to this, I'm glad I just did that. So the second one of these things... Oh, it's in the wrong place. That's unfortunate. Anyway, I'm going to put a copy of this over here. At least that part will be done for me. I'll still have to cut on this one, but it'll be okay. So we'll go back to this one. And I'm going to go to polygons, select them all, and extrude. Make sure we're hitting local normal here. Was about to meet his death. About to meet his death. Oh, we at 0.14. I like that. I like that, I do. And I'll do it again. Okay, so now I need to merge where they're going to be connected here, which is essentially a tiny little section in here. So to do that, I'm going to grab these two edges and chamfer them. Big iron. With a big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. I think I'm not going to bother with that. I think what I'm going to do instead is just bridge these to make the joint. Early one morning with time to kill. Time to kill. One on the hill. And put that down. I'm going to flatten this down here too. Woo! We're going to reset its X form. Went off in my hand. A shot rang out from across the land. Okay, so now that I've got all this thing built here, I'm going to go and do the chamfering. I hung my head. I hung my head. Okay, we're going to do another micro chamfer on here. Why had I run? That's to me. Just what I had done. Yeah. I hung my head. I hung my head. That's not right at all. There we go. There we go. Way up in his chair. What jerk they find? I think what I'm going to do for the other one is actually just build this component. I widowed his wife. It looks like this one actually does have what the little bevel is supposed to be. Which again looks like a manufacturing flaw more than anything else. It's interesting that they put it there. So let me go to this side view here. I'm gonna grab this guy and drag him over here so that he's in the right place. To kill, I've been up on the hill. So we're going to delete all of the upper portion, which is not contributing. And then we'll grab this piece. To kingdom come. I hung my head. I hung my head. I have no idea if this is going to work. I should have done this before I chamfered. I won't know. I might have to fiddle around with this a little bit to make it work. Essentially what I want to do is find the average position here to put the new edge and hope that that lines it up with where I'd like at. And then again, we'll grab these polygons. We'll detach them as a clone. We'll go to edges and remove, so those things no longer exist. And then we're going to grab this guy and extrude it. And if I remember how thickly this was extruded, I think it was 0.15. Normal. And you... I'd say that's about right. Again. So I'm going to delete these two faces since they cannot exist. And then I'll do the chamfer. Yeah. I could cure you. I really hope that'd be closer. Well, I'm on the outside. I'm looking in. Inside you're ugly, ugly like me. I can see through you, see you're the real you. Oh. Okay, so now we can just merge these guys together. This one's got a couple of triangles that don't need to exist, which are the result of the chamfer. So that one and this one. And that'll exist on either side. I should have actually control remove those. Because I need to get rid of these vertices here too. That one and that one. I could never have. It's from you. Times that I tried. Okay, so there's that. And then this should be a straight bridge across with each of these things. Anyone? Oh, that's not right. But I'm on the outside. I'm looking in. I might as well just do this on one side and use symmetry. Save myself some hassle. Ugly like me. I can see through you. See you're the real you. Come on. Where's cut? That's cut. All the time. Cried. It's all inside. All this pain. It's back again. Alive here in bed. All alone. Symmetry. Lovely. Symmetry. Wrong way. Wrong way. No good. Delete that one. I'm on the outside. I'm looking in. I can see through you, see your true color. Inside you're ugly, ugly like me. And there's that one. And there is another similar bit down at the tip. But it's a slightly different design, and then it's this kind of thicker thing with a triangle built off it, which I'm going to avoid doing for now. But yeah, making good pace here. I dig it. I like what's going down. I like the way that I see it. And yeah, it's starting to come together. I still have some work to do on the butt, on the stock back here. There's a metal plate that needs to go in here. There's a metal plate with screws that needs to go in here. And then I've got the actual trigger assembly, which I haven't built yet. And that's got to go in there. But all of that stuff, it's going to be really simple. And it's more about, all of this techie, greeble, nonsense that I wanted to get done and out of the way. Because it was the stuff that I was really worried about in terms of the detailing. I should go and mirror everything over, which is going to involve, well, let's take all of this. I thought there was something that was asymmetrical on this. I guess not. So I'm just going to isolate all these guys. And there's 24 separate pieces that I have right now. And I'm going to affect my pivots here, and you can see the pivots are all over the place. Actually, this one I don't want. I'm going to come back to that one. Actually, I can keep that one. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go and zero out their X position. Like so. I don't want to move their Y. I don't want to move their Z because that's going to break everything. But doing that should be okay. And now we're going to symmetry. We're going to make sure this is a very delicate operation. And I want to double check, triple check, quadruple check. Everything along my symmetry line here isn't broken. This is bad. So I know this is what exists on the actual weapon, but that is non-manifold, and it's going to be problematic. And so I think what I'm going to have to do is fudge that a little bit. Geometry-wise, this is a bad thing to do. These kind of bow tie shapes, that'll cause the software to have a stroke. Okay, so I'm going to convert all of this to an editable poly. Again, I do have a bottom plate that needs to put on here, needs to be put on there, but I'm digging it. And then I've got that other piece, which evidently I had reference for this whole time, which is on here. I'm just going to go see where this thing is. Fly on. Man, it looks like it's right here. That metal pin. Right on. And again, I want to make sure that it doesn't get... Yeah, it can't be there. That makes no sense, because this piece has to pivot and move. So if it is on this piece, I need to kind of swatch through this for that thing to move through. Well, apparently I'll have a giant gaping hole inside here, too. The other thing that I should do at some point in time is double check this with the I should double check this with the character, so that I can actually see if it's going to fit in his hand, if it's actually the right size. Well, it might look good on its own here. If it's no good, it's no good. Sorry, I just saw a meme that was posted on the Discord. Gives me a chuckle. Cool. Yeah, no, I'm pretty pleased with this. I think I'm gonna go and save this out. Savez-vous. We'll go hide this guy for now. And I'm gonna go take a look at this in the. Well, thank you, Arnold. Oh, that's bright. Ba-da-da-do. That's better. It's not good looking, though. I'll be thinking of you. Next time round. Check my watch, smoked another cigarette and waited. Cool. Okay, let me get this off of active shade. Back to standard quality here. And I'm going to save it so that I get to keep all the work that I've done this evening. And then, yeah, I think that's going to do it for me for tonight. I'm exhausted and got a whole bunch of one-on-ones to do with my students tomorrow. And so I would like to go to bed. So thanks for watching. I'm going to try and live stream again in the next day or so. Once this guy's done, I'm going to move on to his handpiece. Unlike the rest of Mando, though, I'm going to be able to texture these right away. I don't have to wait for anything with those, which is lovely because it'll give me another piece that I can do that's finished. And then I might make a 3D printable version of this, break it off into chunks where it can be manipulated. And yeah, we'll see how that works out. And so yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I think it holds up pretty well. And so yeah, we're gonna call that an evening. Thanks again for watching, guys, and